16th of April, 1:26 p.m. Here we are again at the scene of the crime. Ah, it's that guy. Now to thrust these representation papers in Gregson's face and see what he makes of them. Hello again, Inspector. Do you have a minute, please? What is it now? You should go home and get some rest. Alright then. Here you are, Gregsy. Here are the representation papers. Ah. Oh, your ladyship. Ow! I don't believe it. How the devil did you get that stubborn little ragabash to sign that? I salute you. That is good work, that is. My friends can be very persuasive. I can see you're being very busy here as well. How about some tea? It's a special blend designed to relieve fatigue. Yes, quite. Ah, lovely. Well, let's see now. Yes, I hardly feel tired at all. I'm as fit as a fiddle, your ladyship. Would it be alright if we investigated the scene of the crime, then? Do as you please. You know where it happened? Through that door behind the counter. Oh boy. Yes, the storeroom. That's where I discovered Mr. Windybank and Gina. Right, well, I'll be getting back to business then. Will we be investigating in the storm as well, Inspector? If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend too much time on it. But there are many articles to go through. It's taken forever, even with the lads working around the clock. Which is a problem, because there's another case the yard needs to investigate urgently. That must be what Lord Strongheart meant by far more serious matters before. So what I'm saying is, don't get under my feet, sunshine. Yeah, just don't worry about it. Go back to eating your fish and chips. Come then, let's not waste any time. Right. Well, I guess I gotta... There we go. Behind that door is the storeroom, isn't it? That's what Grixie said. And that's where the scene of the crime happened. Yes, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. Through the little window in the door. Mr. Windybank, face down on the floor with Gina beside him. As the accused's legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruhodo. We must make a thorough investigation. Yes, of course. And we will. Behind that door, that's the real scene of the crime. Don't worry. If there are clues in there, I'll find them. Okay. Don't have to tell me I'm gonna... Oh, son of a bitch. I have to go through... Okay. Now let's go. No, I don't want to talk to the cops. Every article in the show. Yada, 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 yada. There was that guy in Congress that said yada, yada, yada. Very uncool. Okay. I think so. Wow. Poor Iris. She's clammed up completely. That's a dead body. Iris is bound to find this difficult. After all, Mr. Windybank's life was taken in this very room only last night. Ooh. Ah! Hello, Greg. Wait, Inspector! What is it now, Sunshine? You took one look at me and tried to run away. You think a Scotland Yard inspector would run away from some jumped-up little defense lawyer, do ya? Well, I've never seen a ladyship looking like that before, is the thing. I didn't know what to say to her. So you weren't running away from me, you were running away from a 10-year-old. Don't worry, I'm afraid this is all a little too much for you, Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector. Eh? Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you? Bruh. I don't think that went very well. Why? Just... Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine, and I told you not to get onto my fight. Yeah. And we have investigated into you ourselves. Yes. I'd like to hear more of what this socially inept inspector has to say. Oh, Haley. And inquire into how Mr. Sholmes' operation is going. Gregsy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright? Is he? The thing is, Don't mince your words, Inspector. Please. You don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is... No. The operation's done and dusted. It's just that, well... Out with it! Ah! Yes, ma'am. They use something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing. Renders the whole body insensitive. The whole body. Anesthetized? Is that even possible? It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep. Goodness, in the Empire of Japan, we can just manage to provide laughing gas for a tooth extraction. I can't take laughing gas, so I gotta do... So, instead, every time I had tooth dental work done, they just inject me with numbing agent. Makes it so that I can't feel anything on my mouth, and after it's done, my mouth, it feels like shit. It's impossible for me to enjoy food. Trouble is, the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you follow my meaning. He couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for him to nod off, or so I hear. And now that the op's finished, they can't get him to wake up, apparently. Oh my! No one knows if it's the anesthetic still in the system, or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. I mean, it's But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch till he comes round again.
Hurley!
The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you. What a surprise. Even in matters of life and death, Mr. Sholmes has to do things his way. I got some questions. So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here? Pshaw, you got eyes, haven't you? Use them. It is what it looks like. Nothing more, nothing less. Iris, could you lend me a hand?
So, Gregsy, what do you make of the crime scene here?
Oh, yes, your ladyship. Do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, and shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the site. The one and only door to the storeroom was found locked from the inside. So it was locked from the inside. The lock appears to be broken now, though. Was that the police officers doing? Quite right, ma'am, quite right. We took the liberty of smashing the door in, as humbly as possible. Oh. As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor, thuswise. And next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutter child.
Vile? Are you talking about Ginny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector.
Right. And Miss Lestrade, the hapless girl, was curled up on the floor, dead to the world. She's still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious. And I'm afraid to say, she had the gun that was used in her hand.
No!
Let me guess, she picked up the gun. presumably it's the gun that's still down there on the floor now. In a pocket, we found the key to the door as well.
What? The key to the storeroom?
And you say the storeroom had been locked from the inside, Inspector? Correct. All of which leaves her ladyship's friend in something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid. This guy's eating chips, looking like an asshole. Well, obviously, in my personal opinion, it's all some sort of misunderstanding. Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is. Well, time to investigate. Gun. This is a revolver. A real one. And quite possibly the murder weapon used to take Mr. Windybank's life.
What's the matter, Susie? You and Runo look like you're about to faint.
Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh. I've had issues with guns in the past. But anyway, we saw Mr. Windybank with us yesterday, didn't we? And he said there was only one bullet in it.
Or I shall have to take my own life.
Code. It must be the same gun. And last night, when I looked through the spy hole in the door to the storeroom here, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand. Mr. Windybank told us that he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in his gun has been fired. So we can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from this revolver. I can't take the gun as evidence, though. The police have marked the position of the body with a chalk line. They don't do that now because the chalk could contaminate the crime scene. They don't do chalk anymore.
Poor Mr. Windybank. He was a nice old man.
Well, he was shot just once through the heart. Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. Most likely, the fellow died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing. You better be sure about that. You better be certain that he died instantly. I don't want another fucking updated autopsy report. You got me? You got me on that?
Aha! I may well be able to help with that.
What? There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is there, Runo? I have a feeling I'm not as bloody-minded as you, Iris. I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold.
There you have it, you see? When it comes to blood, we're all different types.
Yes, what a scientific observation.
So you need this.
Oh no, what's that scary-looking thing?
Hurley and I haven't actually come up with a name for it yet. But as soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Wow. Oh, the color of the bloodstain has changed.
There, does it make sense now?
Yes, I think I'm starting to understand.
Good. It works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see?
Yes, how wonderful.
The chemical it fires combines with the blood and makes it change color. So you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at. In a flash.
Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris.
Isn't it? Isn't it? I bet Ginny would say it's bleeding great.
So, whose blood are we looking at, then?
This must be Mr. Windybank's blood.
Yes, this is where she was shot, so can't be any question of that. This could turn out to be a very valuable clue, so we simply must make a note of it. The sample of blood analyzed by a special chemical indicator. Let's keep testing it and adding the results of any other blood analysis to the portfolio.
As long as I have reagent left,
Sure. Okay, let's examine this. Blue. His blood type is blue. Out of all the articles in this storeroom, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked.
Ah!
What is it, Iris?
That's the box file that my manuscript was being kept in. Oh!
Iris's unpublished story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Later in court, they find it. It's like, he ruined my dream journal. I did not, Mr. Electric. Send her to the principal's office and have him expelled. Your Honor, send him, my lord. Send her to the principal's office and have her expelled.
Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling ya.
We must check inside the box at once. What's in the fucking box? Frosted Flakes, damn. Ah! It was there. Iris's story was there.
Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris? Yes. I mean, of course I believed Hurley when he said he deposited here, but still. It's a relief to actually see it.
Really? Because that's not a very well-hidden frown. Maybe Iris's manuscript has been entered into the court record. Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them.
I can't believe how many there are.
A bicycle, a gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings. Look! Pieces of different people's lives, quietly gathering dust in here together. There's something very peaceful about the atmosphere in here. Or at least there would be, if not for the chalk outline on the floor and the policemen shuffling around. Not much I can do about that, sunshine. Can I examine it again? Iris?
Don't worry, I'm alright. But we must find the true culprit.
Yeah, okay. Yes, absolutely. Kids. Bicycle, okay. Well, I think I've examined everything. I'm gonna look at that manuscript, just for shit. The Hound of the Baskervilles. Hound of the Baskervilles. How does Suzato-san know the exact title of this unpublished story? I suppose I'll just have to wait until she's ready to explain it to me.
I'm so sorry.
Maybe it's because she is in the story. Oh, nothing else interesting. Rotate.
Oh, is that what I think it is? Your ladyship's latest?
Yes, my latest story. It's called The Hound of the Baskervilles.
A most fascinating title, your ladyship. Fascinating, and, I don't suppose... Would there be any mention of my humble self in the tale this time?
Good question. I can't really remember.
Oh, I see. Well, why would you, your ladyship? I'll just wait his publication with Easter-going tabs. He's fucking crying on the inside.
Needn't worry, Inspector. I'm sure if you do appear, you won't be doing anything particularly remarkable.
Oh! Yeah, you're looking to be arrested, sunshine.
I didn't mean it like that.
If it did, you wouldn't have bitten her ladyship's head off, would you? Grumble, grumble. Okay, nope, no information. Tea. Sipping tea like an asshole. Actually, no, sipping tea like an asshole would be like a quiet after saying something as if you're an asshole. Just say something that an asshole would say, then sip your tea very quickly. Well, let's go to the hospital. Maybe there's something new there. No blood. Let's just stay. Oh. Did I fully examine this yet? Come on. Ah! February, 10 shillings. 10 shillings. Wasn't it like 5? Mr. Windybank appears to have used the back of this photograph to write out a redemption ticket. He's written it very neatly, but still. Perhaps he ran out of paper, so he had to use anything he had to hand. It's hard to know what's the front and what's the reverse side now. Oh, right, yeah. It was the photo of the kitty cat. Yeah, okay. One small box. I wonder. Need to talk to Iris. Okay, never mind. Oh, you know what? Maybe there's blood in here. Blood! Ah, look here! Oh yes, a bullet hole! And I can see the bullet still lodged in the wall. Presumably Mr. Windybank wasn't practicing with his revolver in his spare time. Wait a minute. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. The revolver only had one bullet, but both Sholmes and Windybank were shot, so that means there must have been a different weapon used. Ah, well, Mr. Sholmes likes to practice in his drawing room whenever he can. He's very patriotic like that. Patriotic... Sorry? Britain doesn't really have a gun culture. That's really just a American thing. And maybe Russia. In Soviet Russia, you have right to hold bear. It's all there in the, Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, you know. In America, you have a right to bear arms. In Soviet Russia, you have right to hold bear. Isn't that right, Iris?
Ah, did I write something like that? Partially in jest, perhaps.
In jest?
Well, he doesn't do it often. It's quite a dangerous pastime.
He doesn't do it often. He shouldn't even do it once. Not even once.
Forget that now, Runo. Let's examine this bullet.
What's that around the bullet hole? Is it blood? A suspicious red stain on the calendar. No, couldn't be.
This is where I come in.
Oh, right. If the blood changes to be the same color as a sample from the storeroom, we'll know that it's Mr. Windybank's blood. Yeah, but what if, like, there's another... What if, like, two of the people involved have the same blood type?
Exactly. Here we go, then.
Like, do you know how common AB blood is? Green. It's completely different to the color that Mr. Windybank's blood turned in the analysis.
It just goes to show things don't always go according to plan, do they?
Hey, this still gives us information. Nevertheless, we must add the sample to the results of the other blood analysis. 2 different blood types. That must have been Sherlock's blood. Like, are we sure it's just not this one? That's a music box.
Do you have them where they come from, Runo?
Yes, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan.
Oh, well, this will be a treat. Shall we have a listen?
Isn't that evident?
What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound?
It's a beautiful sound, yes, but it's a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the room are giving you fierce looks.
Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Grixie to have a word.
Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard. Seymour! Ah, Superintendent Chalmers. I was just stretching my calves on the windowsill. I so much exercise. Can you join me? Why is there smoke coming out of your oven, Seymour? That's not smoke. It's steam. Steam from the steamed clams we're having. Steamed clams. Was there something on that desk? Meh.
Superintendent, I hope you're ready for mouth-watering hamburgers. I thought we were having steamed clams. No, I said steamed hams. That's what I call hamburgers.
Maybe now I can present it and he'll say something. Nope.
You call hamburgers steamed ham? Yes, it's a regional dialect.
Uh-huh. What region?
Upstate New York. Really? Well, I'm from Utica, and I don't recall anyone using the phrase steamed hams. Oh, not in Utica, no. It's an Albany expression. I see. You know, these hamburgers are quite similar to the ones they have at Krusty Burger. No, patented Skinner Burgers, old family recipe for steamed hams. Yes, and you call them steamed hams despite the fact they are obviously grilled. Yep. You know, one thing that I should... Excuse me a second. Yeah, of course. Oh, well, good times had by all. I'm pooped. Yes, I should be... Good lord, what is happening in there? Aurora Borealis? Aurora Borealis. At this time of day, at this time of year, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen. Yes. May I see it? Yes. Seymour, the house is on fire. Oh, well, it's just the northern lights. Well, Seymour, but it's your not, fellow, but I must say, you steam a good ham.
Oh, she's must be in for questioning. Why do they have those shackles? I guess they're like a holdover from when they put people in shackles, but still. Gina doesn't appear to be here. I believe she must be in question at the moment. Oh, but wait a minute! What is it, Iris? Well, if you examine the scene here carefully, there's another possibility, isn't there? Ginny could have slipped the key from the jailer when he wasn't looking and escaped. Oh my! Why would she do something like that? It would only make a situation worse. Calm down, Runo. I was only joking, of course. Oh. You had me worried there. I thought it was a great deduction. Yes, that must be your way with words, Iris. So wonderfully persuasive. Perhaps you don't fully understand the weight your words carry. Aw, Iris said. Oh dear, I'm sorry. I suppose a light-hearted great detective is a contradiction in terms. Well, in the same situation, I'm sure Mr. Sholmes would have just thrown his head back and guffawed. I'm not entirely sure that's helpful, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, anyway, looks like we won't be able to talk to Gina for a while. We should try to make progress with our investigation in the meantime. Yes! Come along then, Runo! Come along, Susie! Okay, sweet. I don't know where else to go. Oh, you know what? Baker Street will definitely have important clues. That's the police. No blood. Unknown. Well, can we just go to the hospital? Please? Can we please talk to Sholmes? Examined. Nothing there. Let's go to the legal consultancy. Can't exactly converse with my... Let's go back to the storeroom. Nope. What do you make of this? Oh, whatever, dear then. A redemption ticket for an article deposit here, is it? Looks like someone ran out of office stationery and wrote the ticket on whatever paper was to hand. Yes, this is a ticket for Miss Gilded's overcoat. The one that little diver turned up with yesterday. But that's the thing, it's not. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Really? Think you know better than me, do ya? No, I didn't mean to,
Bruno's right, Grexy. It isn't the same ticket.
Oh, of course it isn't, of course it isn't. I never doubted you, your ladyship. So, what's all this about then, if I might be so bold to ask?
This is a second ticket.
A second one?
It seems that Mr. McGill has in fact had another article in storage here at Windyminks.
Ah. Is that right?
I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, Mr. Naruto. Oh good, because he's ever so easy to talk to.
Finally. Progress.
This ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilden's overcoat.
Eh? You mean to tell me?
Yes, there was more than just the music box disc, it seems.
Huh. I should have insisted on the lads taking it back to the yard and examine it properly.
Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGilden deposited another article here with Mr. Windybink.
Yes, I can see it written here. A small box, was it?
Do you have any idea where it is, Grexy? Any idea at all? It's another article belonging to Mr. McGilden. It could be an important clue.
Well, yes, I suppose it could be. Please, stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes all full of hope and expectation, and stop staring at me with them big old eyes. It's too much pressure. I'll lose my marbles, or I'll go barking. Nom, nom.
This is no time for dog impressions, Inspector.
Stress eating. That's enough from you, Sunshine. I guess. There is one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption deadline's already passed, hasn't it?
Ooh. Oh yes, of course. Articles are only held for 2 months. So the small box will no longer be in here then.
That's right. It's been forfeited, which means it'll be in the front, which means it could be on the shelves in the front of the shop, where the forfeited items are offered for sale.
Yes, the shelves in the front. We must search them at once.
You're wasting your time.
Oh?
There are dozens of little boxes out there, hundreds even. We can't possibly know which one might have been McGilden's. That information's not written in the ledger.
Well, I think we should at least have a look, just in case.
Oh. Well, of course, your ladyship, of course. Very sensible, I'm sure.
This is getting old.
Tell me about it. Oh, brother, this guy stinks! Oh, brother, what did you do to my drink? You what?
Okay, box. Box, we're not doing this bit again. Wait, maybe this is the small box. I'm fairly sure this contraption was here yesterday as well. Here we are, though I'm not confident I can get it closed again. Oh yes, that's a folding stereoscope.
Really? This is a stereoscope?
Mr. Sholmes showed us a picture yesterday that you were supposed to be able to see in three dimensions. But for that he used the great big contraption over there. Ah, well, that's for use in public houses and places like that. It contains a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. But this little thing is a much simpler design for use at home. There are special shops selling prints you can use in them. I have a little collection myself. I wonder if I could make money out of these in Japan. Or would be keeping my toilet sparkling clean anyway.
You clean toilets for a living, don't you?
That's not the small box. Is that the small box? Is that the small box? This is a strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things as if they're right in front of your eyes. Makes you think. When Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed it to us yesterday, we were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen. Is that the box? Yes, this is where all the items that have been forfeited by their original owners are offered for sale. That's right. They've all got little price labels on them, but there are so many. I wonder if the small box this ticket was for is still on the shelf somewhere. The box that McGilda deposited here just over 2 months ago. Even if it were, finding it promises to be very trouble and some indeed. There are so many boxes, it could be any one of them. All these try,
Mr. Sholmes said that a pawnbroker's was the safest place to store anything, more secure than a bank's vault, for 2 months. So the rest of the small box of McGilda's contains something of very great value.
Well, if that's the case, he'd probably have kept it locked.
So then we need to find every box with a lock and break them all open.
Hiya! Oh!
That sort of misconduct would get you arrested. I won't let that happen. Ah, this takes me back. It's been some time since his eyes on last with me. Get rotated, idiot. Rotation. So that's not it. The coppers. So you're telling me I can't even look at the... I can't even try to look for the box. Maybe it's on the desk. Here's the article ledger here, and Mr. Windibank's note in. Huh? What's this? Looks as though someone's left a little photographic print behind. Oh, look on the back. There's some writing.
Is there? Ooh, show us, Susie. Show us.
Oh. 15th of February, 10:30 p.m. Article deposited. 1 gentleman's overcoat. Loan amount paid £1. Redemption deadline 15th of April, 10:30 p.m. A gentleman's overcoat pawned for £1? Clearly it was a very fine overcoat. In fact, I think...
Yes, this must be the ticket for the overcoat that Ginny redeemed yesterday.
And is still wearing, which belonged to McGilded. I would never have expected the redemption ticket to be handwritten on the back of a photograph, though.
It seems Mr. Windibank just used whatever piece of paper he happened to have to hand.
But this photograph of a cat. It looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this exact same picture somewhere else recently.
Oh, yes, you're right. Very recently. It's the same as the one Ginny gave us earlier.
Of course! I was forgetting that she gave us that print. Well, what are you waiting for then, Mr. Naruhodo? Get it out! Alright. Let the cogs turn. Yep. Same picture. Corporal wants you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. Intel says that there are at least 6. Okay, I already see one. Give it here. They're the same picture.
Hehe, I've got it! These 2 photographs had an amazing secret.
A secret? What does she mean? The stereoscope! You must tell us, Iris, at once!
Hehe, do you really want to know?
Yes, we need you to tell us all you know about this pair of photographs. This is vital. So, Iris, about these 2 photographic prints. The one we found here on Mr. Windibank's counter and the one Gina gave us before. What is this amazing secret you mentioned that's hidden between these 2 identical prints?
Actually, that's not quite right.
Sorry?
If you look carefully, the 2 prints aren't the same.
Not exactly. They're not?
Have another look at them now. Can you see that they're just slightly different from each other?
I think so. It's very subtle, though. But what's the reason for the subtle difference between the 2 prints?
Ah, well, it's because they're a set, you see.
No, I don't.
This pair of photographs is meant to be used in a stereoscope. Everyone in London is raving about them at the moment.
Ah, a stereoscope. Why do I feel as though I've heard that word before recently? God damn it, Renosuke. Oh, yes, that's what Mr. Sholmes told us yesterday. You see, there it is, just over there. Ah, yes, of course. A magical machine that makes pictures look almost real enough to touch.
Well, actually, it's quite possible to see the same death in pictures even without one of those contraptions.
What? Really?
Do you know how a pair of fat photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, wonderful. Then I'll be able to tell you.
She's over the moon, bless her. Should we let her explain, though? We really need to carry on investigating the scene. Let her cook! I, for one, simply have to know. Okay. How do they work?
Have you ever considered, Bruno, how our eyes see depth in the world around us?
Well, I just opened them, and it works. It just works. But the reason it works is because we have two eyes. Two eyes? Shocking. If you try closing just one eye at a time, I think you'll see straight away. What you see with your left eye, and what you see with your right eye, are ever so slightly different. You get a different view with each eye. Yes, the position of objects seems to shift slightly. Exactly, and in your head, your brain uses that shift to estimate depth as it merges the two views into one. That's how we can sense depth in everything we see. My brain really is amazing, isn't it? It does so much without telling me. I think I see. So the pair of photographs consist of a left eye view and a right eye view. Is that right? Yes. Oh, well done, Susie. You're so quick. So if you could persuade your brain to merge the two pictures together in your head, you'd be able to see depth in these prints. Yes, Runo, you're beginning to understand. And a stereoscope's function is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that. Yes, but as long as you have two images, two eyes, and one brain, you can actually do it yourself without needing a stereoscope at all. You can? Really? Let's look at the... Oh, fuck. I can't examine the other one. There was blood on the other one, though. Yeah, whatever. How to view stereoscopic prints. Let's try it. Let's see if you can view this pair of prints without the help of a stereoscope. Oh, yes. I'm dying to have a go. Zada-san really loves this kind of thing. You need to be able to cross your eyes. That's the main thing. Can you both do that? Okay, I didn't cross my eyes last time. Cross my eyes? I think I can. Watch me and see if you can copy. Whoa! Make your eyes do this. That's so weird. There, how's that? Wonderful, now it's your turn, Runa. The trick is to concentrate on looking at the bridge of your nose with both eyes at the same time. Not exactly an easy task when two people are staring at you cross-eyed. Alright, that's enough practice. Now let's try looking at the prints. And slowly crossing your eyes. Wait. I can't do it! I can't fucking cross my eyes! You try it now, Runa. I'm just gonna have to give it a try, I suppose. Like... Then try crossing your eyes again. The prints should slowly merge together until... Whoa! They form a new single image in the center. Oh yeah! This is not how it works. I can see it in the middle now. Holy shit! I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt. Your turn, Runo! Ugh. What is the point of this? I can't fucking do it! I can't do it! There, you managed it. Now you know how stereoscopic images work. Wow, I don't know who discovered it, but it really is quite extraordinary. Waste of my time. So what do you think of these stereoscopic prints then, Runo? They're certainly amazing, but it isn't easy to get the lack of viewing them properly. No, some people find it easier than others. But that's why contraptions like this exist, for people who find it tricky. Oh, I recognize that. We were just looking at it. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we? Ugh. If I remember correctly, you press this little knob here, then set the pair of photographs in the stand at the back, and... Come on, baby. Yeah, it's still amazing, even though I know roughly how it works now.
Well, London seems to agree with you. Stereoscopes are very popular at the moment. You can find one of these photo contraptions in lots of households in the capital currently.
But if these little machines are so affordable, surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them.
But it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Well, I think so in any case.
Not if you're like me, I hate stereoscopic pictures. I've never even heard of them until yesterday. We've certainly learned a lot about them, but I wonder if it's knowledge that I'll ever actually need. Oh, finally! Court record. Look at that, blood!
Mr. Naruhodo, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's something rather troubling here.
I have noticed.
The red smear, you mean?
Yes, it looks like blood, doesn't it? I wonder if Susato-san had picked up on that.
Well, in that case, yes, we need Iris. We should show this to her before we forget.
Ah, see? See? I told you they were a bunch of wee lasses.
Oh, that looks like blood!
Come on, I swear to God, if it's purple or some shit, I would say it's from a gloved finger. Almost certainly a glove made of leather.
Well, don't worry, Runa. You can leave the rest to me.
God damn it! It's a third color! Look at that.
Yes, that's a color we haven't seen before, isn't it?
You simply must add it to the portfolio of blood samples. It could be an important clue. Although, it would be nice to find out whose blood these different colors correspond to at some point. Yeah. Well, this particular stain of blood...
Oh, you've had an idea, haven't you?
Do you know whose blood this is?
I think I do?
Yes, I have an idea whose blood it is. Not from the color turn, but with a little deduction.
That's right, I think it's Claire.
Iris, do you know as well?
You first, Runo. Who do you think it belongs to?
Okay. Alright. I believe that this is the blood of... Can't be Windybank. Because his blood is blue. Can't be Thrice Formation. He's not a... It could be... Matt... Wait, no! Oh! Thrice Fired Mason! Because his blood was on Gina's hands. Thrice Fired Mason?
You don't sound very sure of yourself the way you trailed off there.
Well, it was 2 months ago now, that case. And of course, he never met the victim, so I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely thrice fired, though. The victim? Of the omnibus case? Yes, his name was indeed Mr. Thrice Fired Mason. But that would mean that this bloodstain was left on the ticket 2 months ago. Yes, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket here to Windybanks yesterday. I'm suggesting that the bloodstain was already on it at that time. So it's a smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago. Something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilded was also wearing leather gloves that night.
Hurry, Escrews. What good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach?
I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. My accents are slipping, dude. They're slipping into my native. I don't fucking know, Welsh American. It certainly does look like a leather-gloved thumbprint, this mark. But we know that Mr. McGilded has no injuries at the time anywhere on his body. My native, East Coast. From which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason. Mr. Naruhodo, you sound just like Mr. Sholmes. Minus the quirky slip-ups, I hope.
Yes, I think you're right, Runo.
Very well. Let's make a note of this. The details of the pawnbroker's ticket for the coat have been updated in the court record. The blood analysis data has been updated in the court record. Oh, oh. Dong! Dong! Dong!
Ah! I nearly jumped out of my skin there. How could Mr. Windybank set up such a wicked trap?
I doubt he set out to scare anyone. Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon. Oh? Her trial is tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you will be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. She may have changed her mind.
Don't you remember, Uno? You told her she could rip up the representation papers if she didn't want you to be her lawyer.
Really? Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching. In that case, we had better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again. Right. To the jail! Ah, Gina, good. You're back.
Ah,
Aye. The police must have finished questioning her there then.
oh, how was it, Ginny? Was it awful?
Oh. Didn't bother me. Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate at Windybanks. Oh, right.
Don't you want to know how we got on? We've been ever so busy.
What's the point in asking? Won't change what everyone's saying, that I did it. That's not... Gina, we came to ask you for your final decision. What decision? About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you or not? I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like Mr. Naruhodo to represent you. Right, I say. She's really lost her fight all of a sudden. But I know what that feels like. The worry's just so hard to bear. Listen. Oh, alright then. Blimey, give it a rest with them eyes, Iris. So, come on then, fill us in. Who done it? Fortunately, we don't know that yet. You don't say. We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime. And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is, there are a number of interesting facts that we have managed to establish.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Well, for example, the reason for you being there in the first place. I think I know now why you broke into Windybanks that night. Looks like I'm gonna have to take some evidence that clearly reveals the reason and thrust it in Gina's face. Or I could present it to her calmly, I suppose. Okay. Shoot. Present. It was this. We found this in Mr. Windybank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris's latest story.
Ah!
Oh, right.
Well, that's good then.
Curiously, the storm at Windybanks showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value worth a like. With one exception. The box file that housed this manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina, who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night? You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it?
Ah!
Why don't you tell us what happened, please? Alright, yeah. This Baskerville story. It's the latest Sholmes adventure, right? But it ain't be printed yet. So I figured, it's gotta be worth a few pieces of silver, right? Oh yes, at least 5,000 pounds.
What?
So you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you?
No, Ginny, how could you?
What? Wait, no, hang on. Of course I wasn't gonna sell it. All I wanted to do was find out if the manuscript or whatever you call it really was there or not. That's the only reason I was in the place.
For Iris' sake. Isn't that right?
Ah,
We knew why you'd done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did.
but
I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Ginny. I just knew it.
Well, when I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you'd said the night before.
grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet.
I'm telling you, that manuscript ain't at Windybanks.
You'd soon see it if you had a look.
I have wondered if Harry's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean, I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Some I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Oh, Ginny, that was so sweet of you.
Alright. I'll tell you why I did it.
Just stop looking at me like that, Iris.
It wasn't because of Iris. That's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth, that's all. You wanted to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest. If he'd really deposited the manuscript at Windybanks. It's like I told you the night before. I never had a father. But Iris' lot ain't like mine. She's got a dad, only she can't say him. Ooh. And I reckon that's gotta be harder. That's why she writes the stories. They're about her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me, anyway. Last night when I was listening to what you were saying. Stories.
Stories about Daddy?
You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective? So much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner? Well, that's how I see it, yeah.
You're so thoughtful and so kind, Ginny.
Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we?
Look, give it a rest, will ya? I ain't all this chummy nonsense, do you hear? I hate it. I don't trust no one, right? That's how I work. Because if you don't trust no one can lay you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarpa.
Homeboy. I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of that overcoat are some very suspicious red stains.
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
I think it might be worth presenting some of our other findings in that area to Ginny now. Shit. There we go. Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet.
What?
What? Blood, Mr. Naruhodo. You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So could it be blood that spattered from Mr. Windybank when he was shot last night?
Let's not beat around the bush, yeah? This trusty friend of mine will get results much faster than anything else. Take it easy, Iris.
Whoa! Don't move, Jenny. I'm going to shoot. Purple. Urple. Oh. Oh my! What the? Forget the sleeves. The whole coat is covered in blood. Of course. The black color of the fabric was masking the stains. That's why you haven't seen them until now. And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple color, which matches one of the samples we've already collected perfectly.
Yes, now let's see. Who had the purple blood?
Aha, yes, it was the brickmaker, Mr. Mason. the victim of the murder case 2 months ago. I knew it. What are you all on about? The victim? What do you mean? It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed. Oi, would someone explain what's going on? Stop telling half a story. Yeah. The truth of the omnibus. We can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilden's overcoat. But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony. Now be excused, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains couldn't have arisen from Mr. McGilden trying to pull the victim to his feet. No, if that had really happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of the coat. The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that it splattered over Mr. McGilden's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. I've tried to run from the truth for long enough, but there's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, was Magnus McGilden. Mr. Naruhodo, that horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. Yeah, for like 5 minutes, then he died. I used all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen? Oh no.
Did you believe him, though? Did you believe Mr. McGilden was innocent?
I believed. Or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon.
A weapon?
Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson. You mean Kazuma-sama? Listen, Ryunosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure what is the truth and what is a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have. Unwavering belief? Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly. What's funny, Gina? Cool, sounds like in this empire Japan you come from, everyone must be soft. Well, come on, look at the mess it's got you into believing that begot bog trotter. Yeah, I inadvertently helped a murderer walk free. Well, at least you've learnt your lesson now, why? Believing in people's never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back in the end. Soon as you let down your guard, you've had it. You would never stab me in the back. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one, get up by no one. Gina, may I ask you something? What? I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial? How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away. Are you really sure that's what you want? I bet that's what he wants and all now. Mr. I'm a Believer lawyer over there. Don't forget it was me in that trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can't believe in me after all that? Not likely. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, a lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened. I trust her. She's a thief, but she's not a killer. Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in court in tomorrow's trial.
Are you half-baked?
Not at all. You've not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth. Seriously, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, that's the first time you tried to call me that. You called me by my name. Didn't you hear all of what I said before? I'm a born liar. Fibs just trip off me tongue, and I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and got you into all sorts of trouble. Why would you ever trust me now? Just don't get it. Gina, I do understand why you chose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you, there is more to this life than you realize.
What do you mean?
The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down. It's true that I'm just a student of law, and I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience. But I can promise you this. Whatever happens, and until my very last breath, I am completely on your side. What do you expect me to say to that? And it's decided. I will take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully. Do what you like. You're wasting a lot of... I don't know why you are. I don't get you. Gina's taken herself off to the back of her cell. She'd never admit it, but I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out all right in the end. I think. Why did I say it like that? Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice. Oh, Mrs. Otto? Somebody is there in the shadows. I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before. What? Blimey, you're sharp, eh? Ah! I suppose you are using one of those mystic Japanese arts, like the art of stealth I've heard so much about. If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector. Jesus, how long were you standing there? Craigsy! Oh, dear me, I'm most terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you. How long have you been listening on our conversation? Oh, good grief! Listening in? No. I just got word that there were some visitors who were refusing to leave, even though it was after hours. I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived this very minute, not a moment earlier. That is all it is, nothing untoward, nothing at all. After hours? Is it that late already? So then, I'll humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-ta, toodaloo, cheerio, all the best, bye and bye. That's a lot of farewells, and not one of them appropriate for her ladyship. Oh, but I wanted to have a chat. I'm terribly sorry, but time is pressing at the minute. Is she standing on a box or something? Why is she, like... Or is Gregson just shorter? I see, that's a shame. If I don't get this emergency at the Supreme Court dealt with sharpish, your Lord Strongheart will, well... Emergency? Lord Strongheart? Nothing! Forget I said anything! Anyway, I'm off! Alright, Drexy, if you have to, but let's chat soon. Delighted. Charmed. Can't wait. If you please, my pleasure. That's a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounded sincere. This guy's a fucking wreck.
Grexy's so funny. He says such silly things.
It's certainly entertaining to see Inspector of the Police fall into a 10-year-old girl. Yeah, please strike that from the record.
Record? Is someone supposed to be writing this down?
But anyway, I wonder what this emergency at the Supreme Court is. I must attend the court's clerk's office now before it closes. Yes, of course. Thank you, Mr. Zato. Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later. Whew. And so our investigation came to an end. Suzato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Suzato-san would be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan. You'll be all on your own for this next trial. Naruhodo-san, it's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted. What about you, Suzato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Scholz was shot before our eyes. Gina was arrested. All on the back of the news that her father has fallen ill and that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon. Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is that so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm, and yet I seem unable to find the words to express any of them. I know exactly what you mean. Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow. One final task? You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What do you mean? Oh, my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this. What is that? Some huge bundle of documents. It's my notes from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus. The McGilded case. It seems to me that this case of Mr. Windybank's murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with that omnibus case, in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you. With everything else she's had to think about, Suzato-san still managed to do this, and all neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting. It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina. Thank you so much, Suzato-san. I will do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Sorry? I didn't quite catch what you said there. Oh, ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself. Do you know what time you will leave London in the morning? Yes, I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving here at 4 a.m. Oh, God. Waking up at 4 a.m. I'll escort you to the station. Absolutely not. Sorry? I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow. Gina's trial. Yes, I know, but every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. No pressure. You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try. It's just 2 months since we arrived in London. Well, we've managed to establish this office. It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I would be lying if I said I felt no regret. I'm so sorry, Suzato-san. It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts. I know we've only been here a short time, but in my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel I've learned something. And what would that be? It seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities. Facets? And like a jewel, the light plays off them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and their motives. But we see only a small number of the total facets, and what is illuminated is only a part of the whole story. What lies in the shadows? What lies in the shadows? What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay eyes on, for as long as we live. That's so true. Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much, but I keep hoping that one day it will all become clear. That all the facets will be illuminated, and I'll finally understand how everything fits together. Naruhodo-san, I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open and keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes seems dark. It's amazing to think it's just been 2 months. You've grown so much. Sorry? I've what? Oh, no, it was nothing. Unimportant. Well, it's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. I must finish packing up my things in my room. Suzato-san, I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night. Wait, there's something I need to say. Hey-ya! Get rotated, idiot. What was that? A secret technique of mine. The Suzato shutdown. Shutdown. Please, I implore you. If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears. Oh. Suzato-san. It truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, and learning the truth about that nemesis of a case. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted, and yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible. But I forced myself to close my eyes, and as a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind, eventually, my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep. Hospital. Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind. Ah, it's our boy! Rest assured, I shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed. Thank you so much. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. My dear Madame.